What is up, Coretics? In this video, we'll be talking about this week's Double Money Event Week as well as the property and vehicle discounts. This event week is for February 6th through February 12th, 2025. So in regards to new content, we finally have the 3 drip feed tune upgrades for the Jester Classic, the regular Fudo, and the Cheburek, which is pretty cool. And we have 3 new drift races as well. Those are Buckle Down, Gangs All Here, and Go With The Flow. Plus, Rockstar is continuing the Lunar New Year stuff from the past couple weeks, which is interesting. However, we still don't have any new drip feed cars this week, which is a real shame. It's been about a month since the last one was added, which was the Firebolt ASP. Anyway, the current prize ride for this week is the Progen Italy GTB. It's primarily based on the McLaren 570S mixed with the Tryon Nemesis and has a normal price of just under 1.2 million. To get it for free this week, you have to get top 3 in an LS Car Main Series race for 3 days in a row. In regards to performance, in the supercar class, it is a mid-tier performing vehicle in that class, not factoring in HSW. It has some decent customization, although of course it gets the crazy customization if you upgrade it to the Benny's custom variant, where it also gets more straight line speed, but sadly worse handling than the regular one. I personally think it's a strange looking car in its regular form, but the custom variant with the wide body definitely looks a lot better, at least to me. Continuing to the test ride vehicles, we have the SC1, the Silvestra, and the FMJ, and all of these except the Silvestra are remove website vehicles. And for Courage and console users, we have the Brioso RA as HSW test ride vehicle for this week. Continuing to the casino podium vehicle, we have the Lampadati Komoda. It's primarily based on the Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio and has a normal price of 1.7 million and a trade price of just under 1.3 million. In regards to performance, in the sports class, it has a mid-tier performing car in the class, which is pretty impressive for a sports sedan. It has great handling, acceleration, and top speed, and has some pretty good customization as well. Overall, I think it's a great car to try and win this week. In terms of the dealership cars this week, in luxury autos, we have the Envisage and the Terminus. Continuing to Simeons, we have the Cypher, the Cheburek, the FR36, the Fudo GTX, and the Vorschlag Hammer. And surprisingly, none of these are remove website vehicles, and that's because Rockstar decided to feature drift tune capable cars, which is an interesting decision, but I guess it goes with the event week theme. Continuing to discounts, starting off with the property discounts, we have 30% off the Eclipse Boulevard Garage property, which will store up to 50 cars. Continuing to vehicle discounts, starting off on Legendary Motorsport website, we have 30% off the Cypher. This was in the sports class, as a mid-tier performing car in the class, which is pretty decent, although I do wish it handled it a bit better and had more power, but the customization is great being a Tudor's DLC car, the styling, and it has drift tuning as well. I think Rockstar did a fantastic job on the Cypher. Next up, we have 30% off the Jester RR. So this one is in the sports class as well, and is a mid-tier performing car in that class. However, for tuner races, it is extremely competitive due to its top speed advantage on certain tracks, so I definitely think it's worth owning. Also, it of course has great customization and drift tuning as well. Continuing, we have 50% off the Cognoscenti. So this one's in the sedans class and is one of the slower vehicles in that class. It doesn't really have any visual customization either, which is a real shame. I guess it's a decent car if you want it for a luxury styling, especially at this price, but again, it is very slow. Moving on to the Southern San Andreas website, we have 30% off the Fathom FR36. So this one's in the Coupes class and is the fastest non-HSW car for track performance in that class due to its great handling and speed. Plus, it has great customization and drift tuning as well. Definitely a great buy this week. Next up, we have 30% off the Fudo GTX. So this one's in the sports class and is one of the slowest vehicles in that class. But that's obviously not why you buy this car. You buy it for its styling, customization, and the fact that it offers drift tuning. One of the coolest cars in the game with that drift tuning option and the initial D livery reference. Just a really cool car overall. Continuing, we have 30% off the Nebula Turbo. So this one's in the Sports Classics class and is a below average performing car in the class, and that's mainly due to its drift-like handling. However, it does have pretty good customization and of course the drift tuning option as well, which makes it a ton of fun to mess around with. Moving along, we have 30% off the Cheburek. So this one's in the Sports Classics class and is a below average performing vehicle in that class as well. However, with today's event week, it now has drift tuning available, which is awesome. I mean, it already was pretty cheap and unique with the cardboard upgrades, but now it's a very fun vehicle to mess around with that drift tuning option. And I'm sure you guys see the pattern here. All the vehicles that are 30% off are drift tune capable, which is pretty cool. And lastly, on Leaders Travels website, we have 50% off the Mamatis prop plane. It seats 4 players and typically spawns for free at the airport. so I don't really see a reason in owning it, especially since it's just a Pegasus aircraft. Moving along to the gun van, we have follow weapons available this week and 30% off the compact EMP launcher as well. For triple money, we have triple money NRP on select community series jobs. For double money, we have the Lunar New Year stun races continuing from last week, plus double money on drift races, although it is 4 times money for GTA Plus members. And the adversary mode running back is going to be double money, the LS tag collectibles, and the exotic exports from the auto shop as well. For the weekly challenge, if you participate in any 3 drift races, you'll get a 100k bonus. For the FIB priority file in the Garment Factory this week, it's going to be the Project Breakaway file. Continuing to the weekly vehicle robberies from the Salvador Benz, they can only change once per event week. We have the Duggan robbery with the Neon, the Gangbanger robbery with the Paragon R, and lastly the Podium robbery with the Cosita, and none of these are claimable this week. And lastly, for the time trials this week, normal time trials Galileo Park. I highly recommend a quick bike for this one. For the premium race, we have a supercar race cutting corners. I highly recommend the Emirates, Omaggio, or Krieger for this race, and if you're in a current gen, I highly recommend using the HSW Weaponized Ignis for the HSW Cyclone 2. And lastly, for current gen console users, the HSW Town Trials East Vinewood. As always, the HSW Hakuchi Dragon with the best one for these. In terms of my vehicle discount pick of the week, I'm going to have to go with the Fathom FR36. It's the fastest HSW car in the Coupe class for track performance. It has great customization and available drift tuning as well. I think it's a pretty decent deal at this price. Anyways guys, overall this event week I would say is slightly above average. The 3 new drift races and the new drift tuning options for the 3 cars is nice, and the vehicle discounts are pretty decent, but the triple money on the community series jobs is getting really annoying at this point. The double money is sort of okay at best. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but decent. However, again, no new drip feed cars for an entire month is pretty disappointing. The community is very impatient at this point. I'm not sure if Rockstar is saving those 2 cars for the mini Mackenzie Airfield update drip feed. I don't think it will make too much sense with the 3 aircraft they're already holding for that mini update, but it's Rockstar. So I guess we're just going to have to wait and see what happens in the coming weeks. Hopefully not all the way till March, because March is the month that the Cluckenbell Farm Raid released for the last update, the Chop Shop DLC. So I'm not sure if Rockstar's going to do the same thing for this one and release this mini Mackenzie Airfield in March. So hopefully we're not waiting too much longer for these drip feed cars. We're already in February at this point, so next month is March. Who knows? It's Rockstar. They love delaying stuff and holding stuff off for as long as they can, but I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. But anyway, factoring in everything from this event week, I'm going to give this week a solid 6 out of 10. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. I think that's pretty fair. I think it's just slightly above an average because of the new stuff. That's pretty much it, and some decent discounts as well. Thanks again for watching, guys. Hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.